"Get out of my lobby. This place isn't for your kind." The words weren't accidental. They were delivered like policy, loud, certain, and rehearsed. Gregory Vance, manager of the Horizon Grand Hotel in downtown Seattle, stood behind the front desk with his arms crossed in judgment written across his face. He wasn't whispering, he said it, so the entire lobby could hear, looking right at the black woman in plain clothes, deciding she didn't belong. What he didn't know was that in exactly 9 minutes, she would fire him and every member of his team. Right there in the very lobby where he had just tried to humiliate her. Aisha Carter walked through the glass doors alone. No assistant, no designer purse, no brand labels, just a black t-shirt, fitted jeans, and calm eyes that had seen this scenario before. She took confident steps across the marble floor, her sneakers barely making a sound, but her presence sent a ripple through the lobby. Behind the front desk stood Gregory, 48, flanked by 2 clerks, Lauren Hayes, 30, with a tight ponytail and tighter smile, and Kevin Patel, 27, arms folded, eyes already narrowed in suspicion. None of them greeted her. "I have a reservation," Aisha said evenly. "Penthouse suite." "The name's Carter." Gregory squinted like he misheard. "That's a very high-tier room. Are you sure you booked the right hotel?" Aisha calmly slid her ID and black credit card across the counter. Gregory picked them up with 2 fingers, holding the card like it might stain him. "Strange. This looks suspicious." Lauren pressed the intercom button. "Security. We may have an unauthorized guest trying to access one of our premium suites. Possibly fraudulent." Aisha's expression didn't change. "I'm not here for trouble. I'm here for my room," Kevin scoffed. "People try this all the time. Fancy cards they found, fake names, usually hoping we won't check." From across the room, Sophie Lin, a travel blogger from San Francisco, raised her phone. "I'm filming this," she whispered to her friend Jacob Reed, then louder. "This is being posted. People need to see this." Jacob started live streaming. "We're at the Horizon Grand in Seattle, and we're watching something ugly happen in real time." Alina Ruiz, the young concierge, glanced up from her desk. Her eyes met Aisha's silent recognition or concern. She took a step forward, but Gregory cut her off with a glance. "She doesn't belong here," he snapped. Aisha took out her phone. On the other end, her executive assistant Nia Thompson picked up immediately. "It's happening," Aisha said quietly. "The system's ready," Nia replied. Gregory still held her card, flipping it like he was waiting for it to confess something. "We've seen this scam before. People claim to have bookings, flash a high-limit card, and disappear the second we call the bank. Well, not this time." He handed the card to Kevin. "Lock it up." Kevin walked to a cabinet, opened a brushed steel safe, placed the card inside, and slammed it shut. "You're done here," he said with a smile. "They just took her card," Sophie exclaimed while filming. "That's theft." Jacob stepped closer. Aisha didn't move. "You're going to regret this." At 24, Aisha had been ejected from a boutique hotel in Atlanta after being told she didn't look like someone who'd stay here. She slept in her car that night. The next morning, she began outlining the business plan that would grow into one of the largest hospitality groups in the country. Gregory leaned forward. "Your reservation's canceled." "We don't tolerate deception." "You mean the ones watching this right now?" Aisha gestured towards Sophie and Jacob, still filming. Other guests had stopped what they were doing, clearly uncomfortable. "You need to leave now," Lauren stepped in. "Are you sure?" Aisha asked. "Positive, or we'll call the authorities." Gregory smirked. "Go ahead, make a scene. It won't end well for you." "That's the last time you speak to me like that." Alina finally stepped forward. "She's right. I saw her name in our system this morning. Her reservation is valid. One more word and you're gone." "2," Gregory snapped. Aisha reached for her phone again, voiced louder. "Nia, log this moment. Lock in the video. Timestamps. Logged. Systems ready. It says, Carter VIP. She's real." Jacob pointed to the card through the safe's glass window. "Anyone can make a fake card. People like her," Gregory began. "Finish that sentence." "Go on," Aisha interrupted. The words died in his throat as he noticed the growing circle of eyes around them. "You've just made the worst mistake of your professional life," Aisha said. Gregory smiled like he still held power. "You think so?" "No, I know so." Kevin's voice rang out with forced authority, holding up the safe key like a trophy. "This card is now company property. Until the bank verifies it, you're not getting it back." But Aisha stood unwavering, her silence more commanding than any outburst. "You're wasting everyone's time," Gregory said. "Walk out now, or we'll make that choice for you." Lauren stepped out from behind the desk and reached for Aisha's arm. "You've been warned." The moment her hand made contact, gasps erupted. Sophie's phone caught the movement instantly. She'd just grabbed her. She shouted, uploading the clip to Reddit. Jacob's live stream now had over 100 watchers flooding the chat with shock. "You can't put your hands on a guest," Elena said sharply. "Her reservation is valid. You stay out of this if you want your job." Lauren spun around, but Elena didn't back down. "I won't lie for you. That was when Gregory dropped all pretense. She's trying to scam us. People like her always think they can play the system." A gray-haired woman nearby said, "I can't believe what I'm hearing." In the center of this storm, Aisha brought her phone back to her ear. "Nia, escalate the internal system. Begin audit documentation." "Understood. Do you want Carla on standby?" "Give me 1 more minute." Kevin leaned over the desk and shouted, "You're a fraud, lady. Go back to wherever you came from." Elena was now standing shoulder to shoulder with Aisha. "I've worked here for 3 years, and I've seen this pattern before. Every time a guest like her walks in alone, confident, dressed, down, you treat them like criminals. And every time someone questions it, you say it's policy, but it's not. It's you." Gregory turned toward Elena. "Enough. I want her out now, or I'll have security escort both of you." She refused to provide valid ID. "This is a breach," Lauren added quickly, but the tension was turning against them. Jacob faced his camera. "Just to be clear, we're watching a guest be harassed after providing her name, card, and ID. This is disgusting." "Return my card now," Aisha said to Kevin. "Or what?" Kevin smirked. "Or you'll be locked out of the Horizon system for life. No employment, no references, no appeal." "You don't speak for Horizon," Lauren snorted. "She does," Elena spoke up immediately. "Elena, you don't even know who she is," Gregory snapped. "Oh, she does. We all do," Sophie interjected. "Look at how she's standing. That's not someone begging for service. That's someone letting you dig your own grave." "Kevin, one last chance," Aisha said steadily. Elena stepped forward, voice louder. "This isn't the first time Gregory ignored complaints like this. He's been warned. I logged 3 last month. All dismissed." "That's a lie." Gregory's face flushed red. "You're sure?" Jacob swung the camera toward him. Aisha looked around at every raised phone. "Your time running this place unchecked is over." "Fine, if you won't leave. I'll call the cops myself," Gregory tried desperately. "Please do," Aisha smiled. For the first time, Gregory hesitated, seeing something in her face that unsettled him. Not fear, but power, controlled and far beyond his reach. Guests began moving deliberately, stepping between Aisha and the front desk. They didn't know her name yet, but they knew enough. "This lobby belongs to me," Aisha said simply. The words didn't need to shout. Kevin's smirk faltered. Lauren looked down. Gregory blinked. "Throw her out now," Gregory's voice cracked, desperate to regain control that had already slipped away. But the lobby wasn't quiet anymore. When Kevin's voice crackled over the intercom, "Unauthorized individual in the lobby, fraud alert," the silence that followed was heavier than the words themselves. "She's not a fraud. We're recording everything," Sophie shouted. Jacob's stream had jumped past 2,000 viewers. Comments rolled like waves. "That's theft. Unreal. How is this happening?" When Lauren grabbed Aisha's arm again, Elena stepped between them. "Don't touch her again." "Then fire me," Elena snapped when threatened. "But you're not putting your hands on her. People who stay in penthouse suites don't look like that." Gregory gestured at Aisha's casual clothes. "You keep saying that word fraud like it'll make your mistake disappear," Aisha replied, taking a small step forward. Then came the turning point. "Would anyone like proof?" Aisha asked the crowd. She turned to Elena. "Do you see my name in the reservation system?" "Yes, under Carter Penthouse. Checked in remotely. And is the VIP tag attached?" "Yes, marked as executive level override, owner level clearance." The lobby fell quiet. "That could have been faked," Gregory insisted. "You really think someone hacked your system and brought 2,000 witnesses?" Sophie snapped. Kevin whispered into the mic, barely audible but echoing through the speakers. She owns the place, doesn't she? It hung in the air like smoke. Do you? Sophie asked breathlessly. She does, Elena confirmed. Gasps rippled across the room. Aisha stepped past the half-circle of protective guests, right up to the front desk where Gregory stood frozen. You wanted me out. You framed me. You called me a thief. And you humiliated me in my own lobby. From her phone, Nia's voice came through clearly. Aisha, Carla is ready. Do you want me to patch her through? Yes, right now. Carla Bennett's voice, sharp and deliberate, filled the air. Aisha, everything's prepared. We're standing by for your authorization. Terminate Gregory Vance. Terminate Lauren Hayes. Terminate Kevin Patel. Immediate removal from the Horizon system. Confirmed. Processing now. In that instant, all 3 access badges buzzed red. They were locked out live in front of every guest. Gregory's composure shattered as he stared at his dead badge. This is illegal. You can't just call corporate. He turned to Lauren desperately. But Lauren's hands trembled as she checked her phone. Blocked. Everything's gone. Elena commanded Kevin to step away from the counter. You're no longer authorized to handle guest property. You think this circus makes you a leader. Gregory lashed out. You tricked your way in. You'll be sued for this. You think leadership is about hiding things? Aisha gestured to the guests. Leadership is when people who've been ignored finally speak up, and they're heard. One by one, guests began voicing past complaints Gregory had dismissed. Elena stepped forward. I logged 3 complaints in the last 2 months about biased behavior. Gregory signed off on dismissing them all. It was Gregory. Lauren cracked. He told us how to deal with people who didn't match our top-tier guests. He said we were protecting the brand image. That's not a lie. It's a confession, Aisha said, and we will document it. Carla's voice returned. We've logged the admission. This will be escalated to compliance and legal teams. What happens to us now? Kevin asked weakly. You'll receive formal termination notice. Your names will be flagged across Horizon's hiring network. You're banned from future employment with any of our properties. All this because you wanted to prove a point. Gregory stared at her. All this because I'm tired of people like you deciding who deserves respect based on appearances. Aisha turned to Elena. Reset the check-in system. We'll reach out to affected guests and offer compensation. To the crowd, if any of you experienced mistreatment here, our team will be stationed in the lobby. We'll respond within 48 hours. You're dismissed, she told the 3 former employees. Security will escort you from the premises. As they walked through the lobby under the weight of their disgrace, only quiet murmurs of accountability followed them out. This wasn't justice, Aisha told her remaining guests and staff. This was a beginning. Reform starts now. 3 months. Later, the Horizon Grand no longer resembled the place where Aisha Carter had been humiliated. The marble floors remained polished, but the silence that once carried judgment now carried welcome. A framed portrait of Aisha hung near the check-in desk with a plaque reading, "This space belongs to every guest, no exceptions." Elena Ruiz, now permanently appointed general manager, stood behind the desk where guests walked in without fear of being second-guest. The reform rippled beyond Seattle. Horizon Hospitality Group audited all 57 properties, implemented new training protocols, and adopted zero-tolerance enforcement with real accountability. Sophie Lin and Jacob Reed, whose streams had ignited national coverage, were invited to speak at Horizon's Leadership Summit about the power of real-time accountability, but the past refused to stay buried. A former Portland manager confessed there had been quiet directives from regional leadership, encouraging staff to treat certain guests as non-priority if they didn't match the profile. This revelation showed the scandal had never been about one man abusing power. It was about a system that quietly enabled it. Former employees from other branches began speaking up. Horizon formed an internal task force to reinvestigate staff dismissed under questionable circumstances. Several were reinstated. Others received settlements. Aisha launched Horizon Forward, a diversity and inclusion initiative focused on measurable outcomes. Elena was named National Advisor for Frontline Guest Experience. At the inaugural summit, Aisha said the words that would never be forgotten. Hospitality doesn't begin with the smile you give, it begins with the respect you assume. The audience? rose to their feet, not because a CEO had spoken, but because a woman once pushed toward the exit had turned around and opened the door for everyone else.